Hi, I'm Alan with the Green Herb. Our herbal supplements are unique. We're very proud that we have no fillers in our supplements. We have typically around 12 ingredients, and all of those ingredients are natural ingredients. They're listed on the label with no fillers. You should know this is very rare in the realm of herbal supplements. Next, our supplements have no heat damage. Heat damage is an important consideration. At the Green Herb, we have a special mixer that does not expose our herbs to any high-friction heat. Please give us a call. Alan at 303-421-9900.
Welcome to the Healthy Nature Show on KHNC 1360 AM on your dial. This is New Genesis Health coming to you weekly. I'm Linda, and the local phone number 303-421-9900, and toll-free outside the area 1-888-765-4372. We're located at 4565 Kipling Street in Wheat Ridge, Colorado. That is south of I-70, north of 44th, on the mountainside of Kipling. We do have Dr. Mike Cass, chiropractor, and he is wonderful. He keeps us all walking around down there. And he also does acupuncture. Chinese acupuncture is very good, different than any I've ever had anywhere else. We also have Patrick, who only comes on Tuesdays with muscle activation therapy. And that's different than any other kind of massage or chiropractic or any other thing. It's its own health function, and keeping your muscles and tendons and connective tissue supple and free of inflammation is very wonderful. He's, like I say, only there on Tuesdays. We do make our own supplements without any fillers and only the freshest ingredients available at all anywhere. We have a far infrared booth. It's $10. Somebody told me the other day that their spa was doing theirs for $45, and I thought, woo, what a ripoff. Anyway, it's $70 unlimited for a month if you get an injury and you want to come in there or just warm up or whatever your intentions are with the far infrared booth. With it's a two-person if you care about that. So it's kind of roomy, and you're welcome to use that. Free the first time, $10 thereafter, $70 a month unlimited. All you need to do is set an appointment or a time to come. We do have the live blood cell analysis, and right now I'm the one doing it. We do have Rachel in the wings, and she's very good. What we do is have you fill out a personal profile of confidential information, and it's 8.5 by 14, one page. We keep a copy when you're done, with your permission, of course, and it covers everything from what you know about your health to what you wish you could do for your health, and we'll have a long discussion, and that consultation is no charge. It never has been. But the blood test is $99, and the follow-up blood test is $49, no matter when you come back. So if you've been there in the past, it's $49. And it's a very comprehensive, good test. It's much like the ones that are, back when I was a kid, we had a doctor in our hometown, one doctor, and he would, if he was trying to diagnose, I can remember going in with my mother, he'd take a little droplet of blood or a scraping from a wound and put it under his microscope, and that's exactly what this is, only these days we've got it hooked up to a big screen, or it's not too big, but big for the room, big enough, where you can see your blood at the same time we look, and then we go through that blood from the middle all the way around and all the way around the edges, because every part of that blood means something, and we're just trying to research and see what it is that could be bothering you. We have the FDA back at the Green Herb right now, and so if you call in, you'll find that out. Anyway, they're putting some of our products back again, and we just appreciate y'all so much for bearing with us. I know they've got us targeted to take down, but we're doing everything in our power to stay there, stay alive. So anyway, that's what's going on. I wanted to talk today a little bit about Candida, and one thing that made me think I need to get back to it again and kind of hit it a little bit harder, a little bit more in depth. A little 84-year-old lady came to me this week, and she's not been there in 3 years, and she's still on her own doing what she likes to do, but she's having trouble breathing. She's having some other issues. She's been to the doctor repetitively, and she can't find, nobody has been able to help her discover, and they keep saying, well, you're fine. She says, well, why am I so short of breath? Why am I having these heart palpitations? And they can't find it. So anyway, she came back in. We looked at her blood, and there it was. She actually sat there and cried. She said she had kind of gone on with her life and forgotten about the green herb, and she woke up in the middle of the night, Sunday night, and it came to her to come back and see and get her blood looked at. And she said she called first thing Monday morning and got in, of course, yesterday, so it was quite a blessing. But she said she had forgotten all about, how these things can affect the way you feel. And it is really eye-opening when you realize that your blood, which should be a certain separation, and all your red cells just floating freely, that when you look at the screen and they're all jammed together like a stack of tires, and there's very little room for plasma in between. You've got white cells, but they're all busy. Your electrolytes may be low. You've got signs of dehydration and malabsorption. The blood tells the story. Your life is in your blood. Without blood, we die. Without oxygen, we die. You can live about 40 days, they say, without food. I don't know if I'd live that long, but probably, maybe even more. But about a week without water average, and about 10 minutes without oxygen, your brain shuts down and you're gone. And so it's just very important to have your blood carrying oxygen throughout your body. And when we look at that, we can tell, is it carrying enough oxygen? Has your body been forced into making many, many more red cells than it needs, which just keeps stacking together? Because your body's lacking oxygen, you just create more and more. And so that's one of the first appearances we see when we pull your blood up on the screen. And there it is. If it's not free-floating and the right ratio, then we know there's some kind of an issue. And we're not diagnosticians, but we can look at your blood. We've been to school. We know what it means. And it's just really important to know what your blood should look like and what it does look like. So if you're having some kind of unexplained health issues, maybe we could be of help by just coming in, do the blood test, do a profile, have a consultation. And we do have some herbs available. The FDA is, got some of them in the back, and they've got an inventory on them, and they're holding out certain things that have to be done before they'll release those. But anyway, here we are with that again. It just seems like a problem that's being revisited, and I'm not sure why. One thing I do want to go into, as I spoke before, is about the Candida a little bit more in depth, maybe today. And we all know that we all have it. We don't have to have it in our blood. We should not have any of it in our blood. If it's in your blood, it has leaked through little erosions in the gut wall and gotten through the mucosal barriers where you should be just absorbing good, healthy nutrients. But if you got an overgrowth, it'll show up because it makes its way in. It plants little rhizoids or little root-like structures and just creeps in. And we all have Candida. It's not like some people do, some people don't. Everybody has it. If you don't have it at least 10%, you won't make it on this earth. We'll be right back after the break. I want to follow up with all these thoughts. Welcome back to the Healthy Nature Show on KHNC 1360 AM on your dial. We just so much appreciate the good folks at KHNC. They've been standing with us for 30 years, or 20-something with them anyway. We've been doing this for 30 years, and we are so blessed that we found them and got acquainted with them many, many years ago. Used to be on with Jill back in the day. I mean, this was a long time ago we are talking about. Anyway, we're located at 4565 Kibling Street in Wheat Ridge, Colorado. It's pretty easy to find. south of I-70, north of 44th on the mountainside of Kipling. Visit Dr. Mike Cass, chiropractor, acupuncturist, Patrick Muscle Activation Technique. The local phone number, 303-421-9900, and outside the area, 888-765-4372. So I was talking about Candida and the little lady that came in and began to cry. She had forgotten all about it. You know, sometimes people come in on a whim and then we never see them again, but she happened to think of it in the middle of the night when she was so sick and could barely breathe, and she gets these heart palpitations, and there's just no, seems to be no cause. But, you know, if your blood is too thick and your body is struggling for oxygen, back when I was having these major issues like that several years ago, and I went to a naturopathic doctor, my heart was enlarged, and I was struggling, and I had told Tom, you're going to find this old herb woman dead on the couch one morning, because I felt bad. And you know, you go to a doctor and they say, well, you're healthy as a horse, but then you don't feel well. You can't accomplish what you used to, and you'd like to have a real life. And so I wanted to, you know, just kind of, I know the show's not as long now, but at least I can get in some good licks. But so we all have Candida, and if we didn't have it, we'd die. But once it grows to overgrowth, we can see it in your blood. Once it goes above 70% of your bacterial flora is Candida albicans, now it's out of balance. Your friendly bacteria actually helps to keep the Candida albicans in check as long as you have friendly bacteria. So it's not just a matter of taking probiotics or acidophilus. It's a matter of also eating correctly and making sure that your friendly bacteria is fed properly. And, you know, if you're not in balance, you'll get this sugar craving, and then the high sugar consumption, and then that feeds the wrong bacteria, and then the yeast will metabolize that sugar and produce alcohol. So then you've got the wrong kind of acid. You've got ethanol, which is an alcohol, and acetaldehyde, which is a very, very strong acid that does not digest your food, but what it does is ferments your food. And this is why I stand against drinking a bunch of vinegar or drinking that kombucha, because those are fermented products that will only make you worse in the long run, and they're loaded with, at least the kombucha tea is loaded with sugar. But it'll even make the carbon dioxide gas and make you feel toxic, and then your Candida's feeding on what you eat because you crave the wrong things. And remember, even honey. A lot of people say, well, I don't eat sugar, I just eat honey. Well, look up honey. Look up the ingredients of honey. You'll see that it's liquid sugar. Molasses may have B vitamins, but it's still sugar. Maple syrup may be from a tree, but it's still sugar. And so all those will cause the Candida to overgrow, and it just feeds it. Remember, if your diet is even high just in maybe some other kind of refined carbohydrates or alcoholic beverages or soft drinks, or, you know, maybe you're just a bread craver. I mean, I love a good bread, but I have learned to make some really good biscuits that don't have yeast, and then I use the really good flour that is not just really loaded in the wrong way, and it's just healthier. You can find good flours all over the grocery store. If you don't know what they are, just give me a call sometime. One thing, you know, if you eat a bagel, that's 4 pieces of bread because they're so dense. So start to learn about foods and what are the healthier kind of carbs to eat. Most of us need carbohydrates, but a lot of our diets are so bad that pretty soon, even if you start with a healthy large intestine, it'll become a lifeless pipeline with encrusted fecal material and too much mucus, which holds the Candida albicans, and just general debris, dead cells that should be leaving, and even parasites. And that causes a constant putrefaction. I know when I was dwelling on this a couple years ago, Jessie said, Mama, don't talk about all that. But I think people need to know that if you're fermenting your food, if you're not digesting it, you're getting stagnation, you're not getting absorption of nutrients, you'll get gassy, and you can have constipation or raging diarrhea, and your body just auto-intoxicates itself constantly. And then your gut is a environment for toxic-producing pathogenic bacteria, fungus. The Candida just really loves that and begins to penetrate, and it can get into your skin, psoriasis, itchy ears, acne, yeast infections, jaw itch, fungal toenails, all kind of fungus all through the body. And if you're just craving, these white flour products and pastas and white rice and carbohydrates in general, and sneaking candy and sugar, I know somebody asked me to move their car one time, and they were somebody that said they didn't eat sugar, but the little pocket on the door was full of candy wrappers. Sometimes we do these things in private because we have such a craving. It's hard to not do it. And so, examine yourself, look and see what you can do. We've got a little product that Tom made because he's diabetic. It's $4.99. It's called Sugar Blocker. It's mainly cinnamon and Gymnema sylvestre with a little bit of our super sweet sweetener added to it to take the bite off the edge of the taste of it. You just put a quarter of a teaspoon of that on your tongue and let it, the saliva in your mouth, just let it mix in and coat all your surfaces inside. And keep it in your mouth 1 minute, swallow it, and then drink a glass of water. And any kind of sugar that you taste will be too much. We'll be right back for the last little bit of the show. Welcome back to the Healthy Nature Show on KHNC. This is Linda from New Genesis Health Green Herb. Just this little finishing up. I look at these magazines and different things at the grocery store on the stands as you're trying to check out there, and there's just every kind of designer weight loss diet imaginable out there. And most of these people never even mention Candida overgrowth, which causes a lot of problems. When it encroaches into the small intestine is when it prevents the absorption of your food. Your nutrients just can't get through that mucosal membrane area that's overgrown with the wrong kind of bacteria. Most people are starving for minerals and vitamins. You get up at night and look in the refrigerator, try to find something to eat. Most people look and try to find something. They're, picking up the wrong thing. Don't buy it at the grocery store, and then it's not so easy to eat it at night. Get healthy snacks and foods that are not just loaded with sugar and carbohydrates. Try to figure out what you like that's not just a bad food for you. But, if you don't absorb your vitamins and minerals, without mineral absorption, there's no vitamin absorption. But in particular, if you can't break your protein down into amino acids, you're going to have things like skin issues and vision issues and hair loss. There's a lot of things that can be caused if you're not absorbing your proteins. And, this small intestine inner surface, this mucosal lining, once it's impaired, that's where you absorb your nutrients. That's the problem. And when that happens, now you've got you're probably going to have to do a lot harder work. You can't just say, well, I'll just go off of this diet for now. No, you're going to have to do more. You're probably going to have to get a product that'll kill the unfriendly bacteria or at least get it back into balance. You need to have at least 10% in your body for absorption of nutrients at all times. And so balance is the key. Balance is the key in most things in our life. And if we don't do what we need to do dietarily, then we're going to have to fight some health issues, and we're going to age more rapidly than we wish and feel bad doing it, and that's just a bad idea. One thing I want to mention is the FOS product that we have. We make it there. It's 200 billion CFUs. It's got the pre and the probiotics. We have also got the Candida killers right now. Even the Vas-Q-Lar clear. So many people's blood is so full of toxins. I love the Vas-Q-Lar clear. It's heavy in burdock root, but it also detoxes your blood in many different ways. And I've worked with a lot of people over the years with so many things in their blood that shouldn't be. And I think the Vas-Q-Lar clear is just one of my favorite products. It'll also help you if you get a bee sting or a spider bite, or if you eat some kind of bad food, or even when you inhale bad things that make you sick. It is also one of the helpers when you get a lot of mold. I cannot even believe the amount of people that I'm seeing these days with mold toxicity. And a lot of us don't realize, think about this, your house plants grow in dirt, unless you got some that are growing in water, I don't know, but most of us have our house plants in dirt, and that's where if you get fruit in the summer and the little mud gnats come out, you wonder, where did those come from? Well, they came out of that dirt, and dirt is moldy, and that's that smell that you smell when you're gardening. But, you know, if you're stay out in a windstorm with a lot of dirt, probably wouldn't be a bad idea to cover your face. But we've got to make sure we get that friendly bacteria replaced and unharmed. Do the best you can. Give me a call, 303-421-9900, and let's see if we can help at all. We'd love to. You're the salt of the earth. We love every one of you.